How's it? Today we are going to learn how to use the warp tool, and with different shapes we're going to create some nice cute little monsters that we're going to name and so on. So let's go ahead and get started. Hit Command N on your keyboard, or you can hit File New, and I'm going to call this My Monsters. Okay, and we're only making nice monsters today. And then go ahead and put your name and save it to the desktop, and we're going to choose A4 and we're going to choose landscape and hit OK. Alright, now what we're going to do is first of all hit Command R. In Command R you will see these rulers. Okay, so if you drag rulers out like this, okay, you can divide up your page into thirds. Okay, and if you want to change it, hit V as in Victor or the direct selection tool, and you can basically move these guides like so, so you can choose where to go. Now if you hit Command plus, you can zoom in and hit space, and I'm going to create my first monster here on this left side. And let's see, so what you're going to do is you're going to use circles. Start out with circles, and you can make the circles with any kind of shape. And then you choose the color of the circle that you want, and then hit Shift R on the keyboard, or just hold down here and hit the warp tool. And the warp tool will have this really big size brush. So if you hit the left bracket key right next to the P button, or the P key to the right, so with this warp tool you can basically change the size of it. Okay, so if you want to make it more like an egg looking, and like so. Now you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but I'm showing you the tools so that you'll be able to make it your customized little monster. Now what you need to do is use these two tools and experiment and make a creative monster with these two. So the twirl tool, okay, I'll maybe pick a twirl tool like this. Maybe I'll make, ooh, that's too much. If you do too much, hit Command Z to undo. So maybe I'll make that, and then maybe this will be there. Maybe I'll make 2 feet like that. Okay. So then I'm going to use the plucker tool. Okay, and you basically can choose how you want to do the plucker tool, and it's going to take some experimentation, but that's why we're doing this, is so that you can experiment. Okay, so maybe I want it like this. Now if there's certain points that you want to adjust, okay, you can go back to the warp tool, and remember you can bring them out like this, and kind of like putty or Play-Doh. You know, you can kind of play with the shape to get exactly, you know, how you want it to look like. If you hit A on the keyboard, A is an apple, or you click on this direct selection tool, you can basically you can come in here and round out your corners. Okay, you can also click once on one of these points, okay, and you can click again and you can kind of move it, and if you click on this little dot you can bend it, okay, like so, so you can get exactly, you know, the way that you want it, you know, to look. Okay, so so once you get a shape that you're comfortable with, you're going to go ahead and make some eyes. Okay, so for the eyes, you can basically make circles. I'm going to make them going this way, so maybe a circle here. Okay, so again, click on the circle, draw a circle there, and then change the inside color. So I'm going to choose a white. Okay, and then, and again I would zoom in, Command plus, okay, and space bar, and hold down the space bar and move it. You can basically center it. So in this case I want to make so maybe with some blue eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and make another circle like this, and then I'm gonna make that maybe blue or maybe dark blue. Okay. Now you can also hit do eyebrows. So you can hit B for brush, and for B for brush, go ahead and you can select, you know, the type of brush that you want. And if I make them mad, you know, I can do like this. If you make them happy, you know, you can do something like that. You just want to make big eyebrows, like bushy. You can like pull them in there. Okay. And then also with the brush tool, you know, you can make a little mouth. So go ahead and do that. Okay. And this guy looks like he needs some hair. Okay. So I can come up in here, make some hair. If you want it a little bit different shape, you can come up here and make it like a bigger brush. Okay. So maybe I want to make a little brush in here for hair. You can also change the brush size. On the right side, there's brushes. And in the brushes, you can click on this little arrow and you can choose open brush library and get artistic, and I can choose any of these. I'm going to choose charcoal pencil. Okay, and then I could choose something like this or this. Okay, and then I can make it, you know, kind of like that. So if let's choose something like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now feel free to make accessories for him. If you have like a girl, you can put a little ribbon or something on it, or a guy could put a tie or something. So once you have that one monster, you're going to move on to the second area right here, and be thinking about a name. Okay, you can name that little monster. So I'm going to hit spacebar, move it over. Again, grab another circle, grab the color of your choice. I'm going to choose more of a red, or orange, and stroke. Okay, so next with the next two tools, we just did twirl and pucker. Now we're going to do bloat and scallop. So with the bloat, okay, maybe I'm going to bloat it up, and you can choose how you want to do it. Okay. Then scallop. Okay, you can choose, ooh, too much. Just gotta kind of experiment with it. There we go. And then again, make your eyes. Maybe with these eyes, I'm gonna make it a little bit differently. Maybe I'm gonna use black with and then maybe white, like that. Now, with this, if I want to make a copy of the same eye, okay, I'm gonna hold down this and hold on the Shift button and click so you highlight them together, and then Command G on the keyboard will group them, and then Command C, Command V will paste it, and I have the same like that. If I want to change where this is, I can hit Command Shift G to ungroup, and then I could move, you know, this maybe to this side. And I'm going to go down to Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow. And if you want, you can hit Preview. And if you want to like drop shadow on part of an image, you can choose Multiply and change opacity or offset. And it makes it a little bit more depth of field in there in the drop shadow. Okay. And let's see. Next is my last one. So I'm going to move over and I can just space and grab it and then Command plus to zoom in. And I'm going to grab another circle and choose my color, maybe a line. Okay, make sure there's no stroke right here. And for the last two, I'm going to crystallize. So maybe I'm going to do some crystallized hair here. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and choose the wrinkle tool and then kind of wrinkle them up. Let's see, maybe I don't want to wrinkle them up too much. I'm going to just wrinkle the hair a little bit more. Okay. Now, I'm going to make maybe a rounded rectangle. And then maybe I want to put like legs or something like that. And again, you can choose how you want to create him. And then I'm going to create an eye here. I'm going to choose white. Command C, Command V, and do a white. And do let's not do rounded rectangle. We're going to choose Eclipse tool, and then choose the color that you want to use for the other circle for his eye. So maybe I'm going to put his eye looking this way, and I'm going to change that to maybe dark green. And if it ever gets too small, just zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command C, Command V. I'm going to put that other eye here. Maybe I'll put it by the edge so he's like looking up. Now, I'm going to make him with glasses, so it's really easy to do. Just draw a big circle, you know, over it, and you can hit space bar and kind of move it around like so. And then maybe it's like black glasses, and this is going to be a no stroke, a no fill. Okay, if you want the glasses more thicker, you can put like 2 points or 3 point. Okay, and then I'm going to click it and Command C, Command V, and paste that like right next to it. And then with the line tool, okay, I can basically click and make it like that, and make it like that. And if you want a thicker or less stroke, you can also make them thinner. So if instead of 3, I can have 2. Okay. And then maybe the brush. I'm going to change this back to a normal brush. And then maybe not so big. Maybe not so big at all. Okay. There we go. So now we have our other one here. Now let's talk about reflection. If you want to reflect something, you can hit Command C, okay, and then Command F. And remember, that will copy it exactly the same. And then you can basically drag and click and go downwards. So notice it's like a reflection, okay? And then I can choose a color, because reflection is usually dark color, right? So I could do something like that and make it look like a reflection. And then I could even go into an effect and go to blur, glacial blur, and hit preview. And notice I can make it really blurry, you know, or less blurry. So maybe I just want it really blurry, so it's like a shadow. Okay. Yeah, maybe it looks too much, so I might undo it and make it less. So you can kind of decide how much of a shadow you want to make for just one of them. just to test that out. All right, so so place them kind of in an orderly way on your, and make any last minute changes that you need to. And then again, you can click and draw a box around it and hit Command G if you need to group and move them together, like so. And now we're going to click on the ruler and drag it down right around in the middle of this area. And then now we're going to be naming them. But before we start naming them, I want you to have a drop shadow on one of them. Click on one of the objects and hit Command C, Command F. Remember that will make a copy, change it to black, okay? And hold on the Shift key and make it a little bit bigger on one side. You can see how that got bigger. And now you're gonna hit Command and the left bracket. It's right next to the P button. And notice that it went behind the object. Again, that was Command left bracket, right to the right of the P. And you can use your arrows to kind of like move it around to make it look more 3D-ish if you want. Okay. So that gives a little bit more depth if you wanted one of them to have that depth. Okay. If you wanted one to have a stroke, okay, you could click on one and have a little black stroke like so. A little bit more definitive if you wanted to. And I'll let that be up to you. So either do a stroke, drop shadow, shadow, you can decide, just make them look more realistic. And then go ahead and hit the T for text. And I'm going to click here and put your first name of the character. It's called Blimp. So even if it's small, that's okay. Just type it in, click it, and then hold on the Shift key, and then you can resize by dragging the corner. And we can resize it like so, like Blimp. Okay. And then use a color that kind of matches your character. Okay. And you can do the reflection the same way we did the characters for the text. So Command C, Command F, and then I can choose a darker color, okay, and then hit Command Shift left bracket, and just keep pressing the left bracket until it goes behind it, and then use the arrow key, you know, to make it pop out like so. Okay. So what you'll do is finish and do the same thing to the other two characters, and then you'll have your finished product for your little monsters. So hopefully you learn more about the warp tool and how you can use your creativity to really create some fun characters that you can use later in your stories.